Hi guys, it's Miss Chronister again. Welcome back. It's week 13 now, so we are continuing on with our study of Tim Burton and his cinematic techniques that he uses in his films. This week and next week, I have to tell you more than anything, it is really important that you pay attention to the weekly announcements and assignments that I put up, because we are, especially for the next 2 weeks, kind of going away from what's on the springboard activities because we don't have access to all the clips that they're referring to in these springboard activities. So I had to find some other clips for you. So what we're going to do is make sure we pay attention to the announcements and the assignments. If you just want to look at the announcements and the assignments and forget about looking at the springboard activities, you will do just fine. As with any other week, I put everything up there. So pay attention to what I have on our announcements and our assignments, and you're going to do great. All right. We are going to first, for activity 2.18, look at some of Tim Burton's clips from Edward Scissorhands. So I've pulled a few clips, the makeup scene, Edward scaring Kim, and then also the end of the movie. You are going to pick one of those clips and you're going to watch it twice. So you can never get everything out of a movie clip if you just watch it once. So it's really important to watch it twice. So pick one of those clips, watch it twice, and then you're going to fill out the graphic organizer that I have for you already created. So you're going to look at the framing and the angles, the lighting, the camera movement, the music and the sound, and then how it was edited, how it was put together, whether like the scenes dissolve into one another or they fade, or how the scenes are pieced together. So watch it first and write down your observations with those things on your first viewing. Then watch it again and write down your observations in the bottom row of the graphic organizer. All right. After you do that, you're going to create an analytical statement. So basically, you're going to analyze one of his cinematic techniques. Okay. So in order to do this, you need to have a couple things in your head. You need to know a couple things. One thing is the author's purpose. All right. So the author's purpose is just the device they use. So in our case, it's the cinematic device that Tim Burton uses to create an effect. So it's why he did that. And then the effect is the result of whatever he did with the lighting or the camera angle or whatever. So I've got those definitions there for you. Keep those in mind as you write your analytical statement. So to write your analytical statement, I've got a little format for you here. So it says here in the space below, you're going to describe a specific cinematic technique. So pick one. You can pick lighting, or you can pick camera angle. You can pick whatever you want. And it says cinematic technique. You're going to write down the cinematic technique that you choose. Then it says an example of the cinematic technique. So if you choose lighting, tell me in the clip from the end of the story, the lighting, and then tell me what the lighting looked like at whatever point. All right. And then you're going to tell me the effect that lighting had, for example. All right. So you're going to write down your cinematic technique. You're going to give me an example of the cinematic technique. And then you're going to tell me the effect it had. You've already got the examples up in your graphic organizer. So that should be pretty easy. Then you're just going to complete the statement that I have there for you. So it says complete these statement or sentences using your cinematic technique and example. So here it says Tim Burton and Edward Scissorhands uses blank, where you're going to put your cinematic technique, to blank. Achieve what purpose? What did he want to achieve with that lighting or with that camera angle or with that shot? For example, and then you're going to put in the evidence from the text. For example, he used lighting when he da-da-da-da-da-da. All right? Whatever example you choose. So that's your analytical statement. This is the beginning. Remember our embedded assessment that we're going to do at the end of this unit? You're going to use this kind of format when you write your essay and when you're describing Tim Burton's style and the effects it has in your essay. So hang on to these paragraphs that you're creating because they're going to be very useful in your embedded assessment in a couple weeks. All right. Now activity 2.19. Again, we are diverging from the springboard activities quite a bit. So make sure you pay attention to what I've got on the announcements. For this activity, we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but I've got clips from Alice in Wonderland, not the Disney version. Tim Burton did a version. So there's a few clips here. There's Alice falling into the rabbit hole, the tea party, and the Mad Hatter with the queen. Excuse me. Pick one of those And you're going to do the same thing with the same graphic organizer. You're going to watch the film twice, or the clip twice, and fill in the graphic organizer with the cinematic techniques that Tim Burton uses. Then after that, you're going to write another analytical statement. So you're going to pick one of those cinematic techniques that you saw him use. You are going to tell me what purpose he wanted, or why he used it, what was the purpose. And then it says, for example, and you're going to drop in your text evidence from the film, the example. And then after this, so you're expanding on your analytical statement in activity 2.19 a little bit. So after you do that, then you're going to write 2 sentences of thorough commentary. So commentary is your thoughts. So you're going to tell me what you think about that technique he used and the purpose he used it for. So tell me why you think he used it, what effect it had on you as a viewer. Was it successful? How did it make you feel? What mood or tone did it create? Just your thoughts on that technique and its use in the film, all right? So in 2.18, we didn't do the commentary. In 2.19, you are adding the commentary when you talk about the Alice in Wonderland clips, all right? So that's all for this week. This week is a little bit lighter than most weeks. So make sure you spend some time doing that and do a really great job. As always, reach out to me if you have any questions. This week does get a little confusing because we are not so much following the springboard activities since we don't have access to all the film clips, and the activities had a lot of group work in them, which we obviously can't do. So just do what I've got in the announcements. Follow the announcements and assignments and you will be good to go, all right? So reach out if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.